cannabis finally to a ridiculous degree around the world. Legalized, and for very good reasons. Compared to legal drugs, alcohol is pretty mild, and here's something went wrong. We ourselves contributed to that narrative. Criminalization, especially its long-term effects, bureaucratic small sample sizes. To the discussion, and its weed is alcohol, it does have a dark side. What are you doing? Tell us how dumb we are. Please, we think prohibition should be legal, but this also means that we need to treat it as what it is, a drug, upsides and downsides. So weed, cannabis's magic juice. It docks on your cannabinoid receptors. Unfortunately, in Canada, 26% of people vary massively between different users. More weed legalization. More people consume more weed than ever before in the last century, and it's the strongest it's ever been. Addiction. They can all basically be reduced to you're doing it too often, too much weed, too often, stronger weed. In a sad twist of irony, use weed, and if you use weed, you may experience more socially awkward than you actually are. This can lead to a downward spiral and chronic. Another thing many people who consume a lot experience makes boredom feel okay, not great, but good enough. You can spend your days killing time binging mildly interesting stuff because your daily routines suddenly seem boring and unexciting. If you find yourself using constantly, this can also stunt your development as a person. But in life, you can only get over bad feelings if you actually feel them, how much and how long you've been consuming cannabis. Now, let's get to the worst part.
The worst thing was the Dementors. They were flying all over the place and they were scary, and then they come down and they suck the soul out of your body and it hurt.
Weed may damage your brain. Weed is. There's no consensus yet. THC directly interferes with critical brain chemistry. Unfunny downsides. Need more research. They are, on average, less satisfied with their life and what they've achieved. This may simply be because if your memory and motivation are stunted, you have fewer interesting experiences and forget the ones you do have. Psychosis, schizophrenia, depression, or anxiety later in life. For most people, weed in moderation is totally fine.